going to work every day, punching a clock, so you can make whoever else's company money, i.e., making someone else rich while you stay poor. Hey, what's up, people? It's John from Hustle Metric. And I don't know about you, but I'm tired of trading my time for money. I am just tired. And I'm sure that you are too. And what does that mean? It means going to work every day, punching a clock, so you can make whoever else's company money, i.e., making someone else rich while you stay poor. And maybe you're not poor. Maybe you make a decent wage. And maybe you just are tired of the time that it's taking out of your life. Like you get home at 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the evening or whatever time it is that you get home. And what do you have time to eat? Maybe spend a little time with the kids if you have them. It's tiresome and it's exhausting. It's crazy because people are working harder now than ever and they're still broke. They're still broke and they're still burned out. And I don't want to do it anymore. And I'll get to why I kind of don't do it anymore, but how I'm going to do it even less. Okay, so in my last video I told you the first part of my working life was in fast food, was in factories, things like that. Somewhere in my early 20s maybe I got a job with a print company, actually doing graphics, which was something I loved. I did. Yeah, I loved that job. And I worked it for 13 years, or maybe close to 15, I'm not sure. But it didn't offer any benefits. It was a small mom and pop operation, you know what I mean? There was no retirement plan. And after about 10 years, I thought, man, it took me 10 years, right? And I was like, this is not sustainable. I can't do this forever. What am I going to do? Work in a t-shirt shop until I'm 55, 60 years old and with no retirement? And then what? Are you in a similar situation? Do your job offer benefits? Do you have a retirement plan? Do you plan to carry that out until retirement? These are important questions to ask yourself. If that's what you want to do with the rest of your life, is trade your time, your extremely finite amount of time, for dollars. It's not smart. It's not smart. And I have a couple different ways where I think I can help you out of it, which is how I'm also helping myself out of it. Because I think God gave us more than just a work ethic. You know what I mean? I think He gave us creativity, purpose, the ability to build, to use our minds, to get out of this whole thing, man. And so anyway, I realized at some point that I needed to build an income that doesn't rely on constant effort, on constant work, it's literally sucking your life. And that's a terrible way to see it. Because, everybody works, right? That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go to school. You're supposed to go to college for some trade or profession, get a good job in that profession, and work it until you're too old to work it anymore. And basically what that means is work it until you're too old to do anything besides. And this is an extremely negative way to look at it, I get it, but this is how I see it. Work it until you're too old to do anything besides go home and sit in your chair and die. Yeah, sorry, I said it. I realize that doesn't happen every single time. Some people retire early and go live, the tropical life, or live it up for their last couple, 10, 20 years. But some people literally work until they can't do anything else, and that's not what we're trying to do. It's certainly not what I'm trying to do, and it's probably not what you're trying to do. If you're here, you're not trying to do that. So I'm not trying to get rich, okay? I don't care about getting rich. I want to have time. I want to have peace. and time with my family, um, my mental health. You know what I mean? Because working takes a toll on a body, not only physically, but also mentally. As you know, if you work and have worked for a long period of time, eventually you just feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel, and that this is your life. You're like, you wake up in the morning and you're like, this is my life. This is it. A lot of people think that way. I thought that way. And so I started a long time ago trying to find, this hustle or that hustle. And I would concentrate every evening after work. I'd get home about 6 or so. And from that point forward, my mind automatically switched to how do I get out of this so I don't have to get up the next morning and do this. I don't want to do this anymore. And so I did that for years and years, from this thing to that thing, from this thing to that. But the thing is, I never stopped to focus. I never had the patience to stick with something or to actually try something long enough to see if it was going to work. So that's why I just kept hopping from, thing to thing. And you may be doing that too. You may be in that cycle right now. I don't know where you're at in your journey here, or whether you have started your journey yet. But so anyway, I worked the good graphics job for a long time, and I had a good time doing that. If I had to waste my 15 years doing something, then probably what I would have chosen. I would have chosen to make more money and work a little bit less probably, but it's beside the point. So let me tell you a little bit about how I'm getting out of it and how I think that I can help you out of it. So first of all, what I'm doing is I'm putting my time now into a couple different things. And you got to be real careful, because I'm real close to having too many irons in the fire. And if you do that, you're not going to be able to focus on the one thing or one or two things that are actually going to make you money, because you're going to spread yourself too thin, especially if you're working a 9 to 5 or whatever shift you have to be working. There's not going to be time to go do 3, 4, 5 different things, which is currently kind of where I'm at. But I don't currently work for someone. I don't punch a clock, rather. And that was awesome. You know what I mean? Because I thought, so once I quit working for the print company, I started freelancing because I'm a graphics guy. So I picked up a lot of work freelancing, and I did t-shirt print graphics in particular. So I have a lot of skills in color separations and things like that. And so I did that for a long time, and that made me quite a bit of money. Okay, maybe not quite a bit, but it made me money. And I still do that. I still do that to make ends meet and keep food on the table. You got to do what you got to do. So, but the thing is, when I first started doing that and I started getting some success with that, and I had some clients, I was like, man, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to do. But it's not, because I'm still, the money is only coming in if I'm doing the work. You see? And it doesn't have to be that way. But yeah, if I stop doing graphics or I stop taking jobs, then the money stops. So that's not what we want to achieve here is passive income. I'm sure you've heard the word passive income if you've been, scrolling to YouTube for money-making videos. But passive income is money that you make even while you're not working. That means you've put something in place, you've established something that pays you no matter what you're doing, whether you're sleeping, on vacation. And so that's what we want to do here. And I know that this is possible because I run another YouTube channel called Promo Weapon, where I've kind of been neglecting it lately, but I've put a couple things up there for t-shirt printers and things like that, and I've built a couple of tools like for Photoshop actions and things like that, where I've gotten some digital downloads. And when you get a couple sales like that with something that you've already built, and now you don't have to do anything with it anymore, but people will still buy it, that's where the money's at. That's where the freedom is actually at. And that's the greatest feeling in the world, when your phone, dings or chimes and says you've made a sale, and you're not doing anything but sitting on your butt at the moment. That's freedom. So I have yet to increase that exponentially because I'm flighty. and I need to focus on that. But I thought that would be a really cool thing to share. Not only that I'm doing that, but how you can also do that. Not necessarily with graphics or whatever, but if you have some kind of a skill set, you need to think that through. Like get a pen and paper, or pop open your notepad on your phone if you have one, and write down what skills you think you have, or you do have, or that you could have with little effort, with a little bit of learning or training. Because chances are there is somebody out there that needs whatever skill you have. I can almost guarantee that they do. And they're willing to pay you for it. But this channel's more about just passive income, okay? And it doesn't matter. Like, let's say you have a dream of a service business where you actually, are out there working, whether it be, I don't care what it is, cleaning windows, pressure washing, contracting, something like that, handyman work. There's still a way that you can turn that into something that's not killing you every single day. You know what I mean? Because once you have a good foothold and your business starts to grow, then you can hire employees, and you can, let go of the reins a little bit. I'm not saying let the employees take over your business by any means. That's probably not a smart thing to do. But you can let go of the reins a little bit and relax and, take your week vacation, as long as you have all your ducks in a row and employees you can trust, you know what I mean? So if you get to that point, then you're doing pretty good also, you know what I mean? So while not necessarily passive in nature, it's still a good income, and you're not having to go punch somebody else's clock to do it. So other than Promo Weapon and my, let's say, graphics tools, I'll call them that, I don't know what else to call them, and I'm dabbling in advertising space. So like direct mail, you know what I mean? Like you go pop up in your mailbox and you pull open a coupon or something with an advertiser on it, whether that be for lawn care or painting or even a restaurant coupon, you know what I mean? So things like that. And so you can sell services like that to businesses as well, which is semi-passive, because all you have to do is sell that space however often, whether it be monthly or twice monthly or whatever. And that's your job for the month, you know what I mean? And you profit potentially thousands of dollars a month off of that. And all you're doing is selling. Now you got to be somewhat comfortable selling, unless you're just going to rely on email and social to do your selling. And we'll get to that too. If you want to jump into that, we can go into that. And YouTube, of course, is, as you know, not for me yet, a source of income for a lot of people. And it's really easy to start a YouTube channel. And if you have an idea for one, run it by me. I can help you put it up. You know what I mean? It might cost you a few dollars. I'm not going to bust your heads, because if you're in the same situation that I'm in, you don't have a lot of extra money to spend on that kind of thing. So I will help you for a fair price to launch your YouTube channel. And for that matter, I'll help you launch a social media campaign, or start one if you don't already have a social media page or something like that. I want to help people. As much as I want to make money, I want to help people. Because when I look back, I wish there was someone that would have helped me without wanting to charge me $4,000 for a course. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. And it's ridiculous, and I'm a little bit jealous, because I'd like to be able to do that someday. But not for that much money. I mean, come on. Do you really need to sell a $4,000 course? So sometime in the future, if you're subscribed and you're still subscribed, and I'm ever selling a course for $4,000, throw that up in my face, okay? That being said, if you have something that's worth $4,000, I mean actually worth $4,000, then by all means, sell it for $4,000, because you don't want to ever short yourself. And that's another thing we're going to get into. And another thing that I'm guilty of myself is underselling myself. Because I have a lot of skills that I've acquired over the years, and I'll purposely take a beating just to make some money. You know what I mean? Not literally, but on price for things like that. And just, that's fine. You know, if you really like somebody and you want to do some favors or something, then yeah, cut the price. You can have friend prices and family prices, things like that, but not for everybody. Sell yourself for what you're worth, for what your skill is worth. And never mind the 50,000 people on Fiverr or wherever that are going to give you 10. Here's my problem with selling website templates, by the way, which I have also sold a few of. But nobody wants to pay you what you're worth anymore, because we have places like Etsy and Fiverr and things like that, where people are like this. They're like, I will design for you like 10,000 social media posts for $15. And I look at that and I'm like, what? What? Huh? But you know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. People don't put any value on things anymore. It's just insane, dude. Anyway, so now I'm doing some client work on the side still, because I have long-standing clients I've been doing business with for a really long time, and inevitably, when you establish relationships like that, they're going to come back to you. They're going to keep sending you work until you tell them to stop. And obviously, I'm not going to tell them to stop unless I can sustain myself otherwise, monetarily. But I just wanted to kind of touch on those points and tell you that that's what this channel is going to be about. That is what this channel is about, is getting out of the 9-to-5 grind, implementing your own ideas, and turning that into your own business. Like I said, I've started a bunch of businesses. Follow through is my problem, so we're going to work on that together. But I got the skill set that I can help you build these things out, okay? So if you're stuck in the same loop that I've been stuck in for too long, you're not alone, trust me. So we're just here to document the journey, you know what I mean? Not the finish line. Maybe there's never a finish line, and we just keep building and building and building, and that's awesome. But if this all sounds like something you might think you're interested in, hit the subscribe button. If you're also building toward time freedom so you can have more enjoyability out of life, if that's even a word. If not, we just made it up. So there's not going to be any fluff here, no hype. I'm not going to promise you riches. I'm not going to promise you a Ferrari or a mansion. You know what I mean? Just real hustle, because that's what life is for real people. You know what I mean? So that sounds like something you're into, man. Subscribe, and from here on out, these videos are going to be getting meaty. By that I mean they're going to have more actionable content that you're going to start implementing yourself. So I need your ideas, what you're trying to do, so I can help. So drop some comments or shoot me an email. Email's in the description. And let's go. All right, I'll see you guys next time.